Crypto taxation and reporting becomes mandatory from 2026, starting from January for all EU countries. So if you live in Europe, you'll have to pay taxes up to 50% from your capital gains. There are some exemptions, there are some opportunities still in Europe for tax-free, but the most important, guys, I will share with you different strategies, more than 5, on how to live tax-free as an individual or as a corporate. And also a mix between of these two and how you can take advantage of different financial systems and actually live almost forever tax-free and manage very smart your investments. So no matter where you live, in Germany, in France, in Denmark, in Switzerland, Austria, Greece, Cyprus, wherever you live, you can still live tax-free and make a lot of money. And so if you are interested in living tax-free, make sure you watch this video until the end, smash that like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this in the future. And let's jump into it. So first, let's see the taxation that we have all over the Europe. So you may have heard that maybe some countries, they don't have yet tax in Europe, but actually they are required and it is mandatory for all EU countries to tax anything that is around the crypto, because there is a law since 2011, despite the MiCA that was passed almost 2 years ago, that requires every EU country to tax their citizens on assets, on profit and on capital gains, etc. So in few words, there will be taxation. There's already taxation announced in the capital gains, and you know pretty well that the governments love to tax people. And anyway, the name of this law, if you want to research it, is DAC 8, otherwise Directive on Administrative Corporation. And then let's see first the taxation that we have all over the Europe. Austria 27.5, Belgium 0% on normal investing, holding for long, but can go up to 50% for professional investors. So a professional investor can do it through a corporate or other options and strategies that I will give you guys in just a few minutes. Then we go next to Bulgaria, 10%, Croatia 12%, Cyprus 0%. 0% is only at the current moment, but actually there is already announced a law that will be passed in the parliament and it will be 8% flat on anything that you make around the crypto. Capital gains, staking, saving, whatever you make around the crypto will be just 8%. And actually that's very good for EU. And I will share with you guys in a bit few strategies on how you can take advantage of living anywhere in Europe, but take advantage of the Cyprus taxation and manage all your investment through Cyprus. If you stay with me a few more minutes. And then you have Denmark, which is crazy on the taxation. That was the reason that I left in 2020 from Denmark, and the tax in Denmark, it starts from 37 and goes up to 52%. Crazy. And then we have Estonia 20%, Finland 30%, France 30% flat, Germany 0% if you hold more than a year. This is actually very good for the German people to hold their investment for at least 1 year and then pay nothing on their capital gains. Otherwise, it goes also there up to 50.5%, which is crazy if you speculate in a period of time. And for German people who lives in Germany, still very good, but I will show you more strategies that even German people cannot resist to take advantage to live tax-free. So then you have Greece 15%. I'm from Greece. I don't live anymore. I moved my tax residency to Dubai and I live tax-free there. And then you have Hungary with 15%, Ireland with 3%, Italy 26%, Latvia 20%, Lithuania 20%, and then you have Luxembourg that can go up to 42%, which is also crazy. Then you have Malta 0% on capital gains as individuals. So actually it's a very good option, but people probably have to be there for 6 months. It's something that somebody will not move from France to Malta just for 6 months to avoid. Some may do it, but it's not really that good, and most probably they will change as well because they are required from this DAC 8 law. And then you have Netherlands 31%, Poland 19%, Portugal 28%. Unfortunately, they were forced to tax their people because of this EU law, because Portugal didn't have taxes so far and they did not want to tax crypto, but they were forced because you live in EU. Then you have Romania 10%, then you have Slovakia 19%, you have Slovenia from 16 to 50%, Spain 19 to 28%, and then you have Sweden 30%. So those taxes are quite high and you can avoid these taxes legally. Avoid probably is not the proper wording here. It means that you can manage your investment to not pay taxes. So you have different options here. One option is if you live in a country that has zero tax as an individual, if somebody's thinking as an individual. And to really pay attention to this, you have to have at least 10,000 euro invested in crypto. Otherwise, it would not make much sense for you to try to do anything else to avoid the taxation of the crypto. So this is more for people who have seriously been invested in cryptocurrency and they're expecting capital gains over time. So the first option is to move to a country that has zero tax, which is Dubai or different Cayman Islands or Puerto Rico, that type of countries that have zero taxation. And for most of the people may not work because they have families or different reasons that they don't want to move out of the country. So we have to find options that we can still be in our country and not pay taxes. So right now, believe it or not, the number one place and strategy in the world to live tax-free is by managing your investment in United States through a corporate. So very simple, you set up a company in Wyoming or Delaware in a state-free tax, and you do still have the federal tax to pay in these countries, but you can manage always your investment to actually live tax-free if you have at least a basic good accountant. You don't need something crazy to do it, and to have a basic understanding of yourself. So in US, everything is favorable when it comes to write off your expenses and to cover that on the taxes and not to pay taxes. There are different strategies right now that you can use right here and right now in the United States and take full advantage and live tax-free. You can go as far as, let's say that you invested some money and you have to pay $50,000 in taxes. So you can just take $50,000 loan debt to your company in the United States, and now you can take loans against even your stable coins USDT and USDC and maintain a debt to profit ratio and to legally not pay your taxes. So there is more details to it on how you're going to do this, of course, but I'm going to share with you guys the general direction, and then before you make any movement, make sure you consult the legal advisor or a professional accountant or somebody who really knows all the details to guide you step by step. I just want to share with you the data and the different strategies and options that I believe most of you don't know yet, and different systems that you can take leverage. For example, in the United States, there is a lot of advantages to have a company and to manage your investment than to just manage as an individual or as a company from different countries, because we know that the banking system in the United States is way more favorable to have credit, to take loans, to do many more stuff. And also the biggest institutions when it comes to the crypto industry, and not only, are in the United States. So which means if you are an EU citizen or resident and you set up a company in the United States to manage your investment, then you can also have access to all the banking system there, which means PayPal, Strike, which is for crypto, to take loans and many other stuff, Binance US, Kraken, Gemini, Coinbase Business, and many other corporates there, which are very big. Like for example, Coinbase is huge. They have under management over $500 billion, and they are a public company. Coinbase probably is the most trustable crypto entity in the world right now. And with Coinbase, you can have 4.5% interest on USDC, and you can have it only if you are a US resident or citizen or as an US entity. So you have immediately a 4.5%. So some people may argue that, oh, well, we can find that also in Europe, we can find that in DeFi, we can find that in this way and that other way. Yes, I got it, but always there are different risks, either if it is an DeFi or another platform that operates in Europe. And it's totally different when we're talking about United States and the huge entities that are there that you can take advantage. And also now Coinbase just a month ago launched a crypto card that gives you 4% return back on every spending. So you have all these different advantages, and also you can get easier loans to reinvest in crypto or any other thing that you want to invest. So you have all these advantages as a package, and of course you can write off many different other expenses that can keep a good balance ratio between debts and profits to live and maintain tax free with your investment. And then you have another advantage, huge advantage, that if you invest in the hardware in the United States, due to the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that was passed this year, from 19 January of 2026, you can write off 100% your investment in the hardware. So which means if you buy hardware for Bitcoin mining or AI data center, you can write off 100% that investment. And that's huge because first of all, it's an investment that is worth it of doing it anyway. And if you can write off 100% that investment in your expenses, that's super, super huge. That you can do it actually not just with an investment company to manage your investment, which you can set up anytime. Even if you have, I don't know, an e-commerce business and you are selling jackets, you can still invest in Bitcoin mining if you have this in US. So the corporate has to be in US. You can still invest in hardwares and write off 100% from 19 January. I've done another video on this on my other YouTube channel, Bitcoin mining. You can type it here on YouTube and you can learn more about that law specifically. And of course, if you want to do Bitcoin mining in the United States, we offer full services on hosting and management for you. So you can also use our services if you want, or you can just do anyway whatever you want yourself. So that is the number one option that I personally choose and I see right now in the market. Definitely, you do have more options. You can set up a company in Cayman Islands or Virgin Islands or whatever, this other. I have myself, okay? I have under Enterprises Ltd and I'm using it for 3 years and give me tax-free to do a lot of transactions, to sell miners and several other stuff that I did it through this company. I do have a company in Dubai. Also, you can set up an entity in Dubai and you can manage your investment with tax-free as well. The cost is something between $3,000 to $7,500 to start and maintain per year. It's very easily. If you're really interested there to do it in Dubai, I can recommend you some good offices there to set up your legal entity and to manage your investment. Also, you can do that with tax-free. So the legal entity itself is a tax-free in Dubai. So that is probably the second best option right now, or for different people can work actually in different ways. But if you do in Dubai, for example, you can have access to the local banking system, but it's not the same as to have in US and all the advantages you have there. So you decided, because some people may just want something more conservative, more smaller, so you can choose that option as well. Meanwhile, you can be in Germany, in France, in Austria, anywhere. You can manage everything through a legal entity in Dubai. And also you have different other options, which means that you can convert from one asset to another. Let's say that you bought one Bitcoin and in the next 5-10 years went $1 million and you have 900,000 profit, but instead of taking that profit to the company, you can just convert one asset to another, which means with Bitcoin you buy maybe an apartment in Dubai and Bitcoin is recognized as a property in UAE as well. And then that's how you can convert one asset to another, and the company that you have in Dubai actually has the assets and not you as individual. So you're not taking profits as an individual. And if you want to then take profits as an individual, you have the other options, which is Cyprus, and it's super good. So in a summarized way, very simple, you can set up a holding company in Cyprus and then you can put under this one any other legal entity, let's say a Dubai company or Cayman Island or US company. You can put under a holding company in Cyprus and the holding pays you tax-free dividend for the next 17 years. And actually, if you stay 2 months per year in Cyprus, 60 days or 61 days to be more accurate, in Cyprus, you can obtain the tax residency on Cyprus and then you can be in Germany, in Switzerland, in France and anywhere else, and you can take full advantage of tax residency in Cyprus. The ultimate option is to manage your investments as a company, because you can write off expenses and you can maintain always a ratio between loans and debts and profit, especially if you are in US. And now with this new development technology, you can get loans even against your USDC or USDT, which means if you get 80-90% loan against of your holdings, you can still have a debt and it's cheaper the debt than the tax that you have to pay. You just need a good accountant to guide you through all these different steps. Okay, some people may do it again through a Caribbean country. There are different options. In my opinion, the number one option right now, and that's what I am doing myself, is a legal entity in the United States. And then you see with Cyprus holding and maybe another company in Dubai as well. For different people may work also different strategies. So I'm just sharing with you different possibilities that you have. Meanwhile, you are living in Europe, you still want to be there with your family, or because you have a business or your work or whatever else you're doing right now, you can grow your investments and manage everything through a legal entity and maintain a tax-free. Because 15, 20, 27, 30 and up to 50 are huge to pay from your profits. And we know that actually it is not ethical necessarily to pay taxes. The only thing is that yes, when you have to pay, you have to respect the laws and to pay the taxes. If you have not managed in a legal way to not pay it, because you're going to have problem anyway, and you don't want that for the future. You don't want to be in a jail or to be fined from your government, etc., etc. So if you want to protect your capital gains, make sure you see all these options, consult a legal advisor, somebody who knows, not the typical ones that just knows to say what is the law, is this, and they don't know actually the different possibilities that you have. In my opinion, what I have seen so far is that the legal tax advisors from Cyprus, from Dubai, and from US are the best ones to help you to live tax-free. Of course, you can find in any country experts, but the Cyprus legal advisors, they know way better different options that you have in different countries, not just for the Cyprus as well. And that's something unusual, for example, for Greece or for other countries that they don't have those experts to help. So that's all I got for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And if so, smash that like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this in the future. And let me know down below in the comments your opinion. And if you had any question for what we talked so far, I wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. See you in the next video.